Do you feel that it is rude to go to a restaurant 10 minutes before it closes? Is it rude? What are your thoughts? I was listening to the DL Hughley show the other day, and I have mixed feelings about DL Hughley, but we can talk about that another time. But I was listening to his show, and this was the topic of conversation. He has a talk radio show. It comes on in the afternoons here in the Charlotte metro area. Sometimes I listen to it on the way home. And I thought this was an interesting topic to bring to you all. Let's chat about it real quick. Welcome back to the Hospitality Hacks Pro show, where we give you tips, tricks, and tidbits to help your food and beverage operation run just a little bit smoother. Keep in mind, all opinions are minds alone and do not represent any other entity, organization, or individual. Now, personally, no, I do not feel it is rude to go to a restaurant 10 minutes before it closes. Now, I'm going to give myself the caveat before my service industry, my restaurant service industry workers attack me. All right. Now, I don't feel like you should necessarily linger for an extended amount of time. That's a different conversation. So if you go in 10 minutes before closing, I personally feel, and this is what I did when I was actively serving and a service manager in restaurants, is you get the same level of service as if you came 10 minutes after we opened. Same level of service, right? Same energy. I'm still glad to see you. Come on in, have a seat, take a load off. Let's take care of you. All right. Now, once you get your food, we've offered you all courses, dessert, after dinner drinks, all that good stuff. Here's where my problem arises. Here at this point, right? Not that you came 10 minutes before close, but how long are you going to linger after you've had your experience, consumed your meal, had some magnificent service? We used to turn the lights on an hour after close. At a particular restaurant I worked at. Like you can come in a minute before close. We're still gonna take care of you, all that. But an hour after we lock the doors, after that posted time has passed, then I'm not gonna come tell you to get up, but we're gonna pre-bus every single thing we can off the table. We're going to maybe, like I said, turn the lights on, turn the music off, right? So the ambiance begins to slowly be taken away. Now, and that's because people will stay forever. Some people are oblivious, right? And I guess you could call that rude, right? They'll just stay over, chit-chatting, people who are in love are the most oblivious. They're just staring lovingly into each other's eyes while the team is twiddling their thumbs ready to go. Okay. Now you can use that time productively, get all side work done, closing duties done, you know, run, maybe transfer the table to a manager so the server can run their reports and all that kind of stuff. So there's a bunch of stuff you can do while people while they finish their experience, right? So what do y'all think? Is it rude? Is it rude? Now, like I said, I'm leaning toward no. Okay. But some people take it personally. Some people really are like, I can't believe it. They're upset. It could be front of the house or back of the house. They're upset when people come in um right near closing times. But the thing is, we need these guests. We need these guests coming in the door. Again, whether it's 10 minutes after we open or 10 minutes before we close or 5 minutes before we close. And they should get optimum service. What y'all think? Agree? Disagree? Now, I don't make it a practice because personally, I understand the mentality of the average, let's say, casual dining restaurant worker. Okay. They're trying to go home, and if that culture has not been built into the restaurant, if that culture has not been built into the team of um, executing service all the way up until the last possible moment, I am worried about the experience I'll have. I'm worried about the food I'll get. Are we scraping the bottom of the barrel? Like, is there still, fresh ingredients and food available? Have y'all already started packing stuff away? Labeling things, putting them in the bigger cooler in the back? Like, what's going on, right? So I do think about those sort of things. And for that reason, unless I'm in a huge bind, um, I probably would not go to a restaurant 10 minutes before closing. Not because of the rudeness factor, because I don't feel it's rude. If you're open, you're open. But I do understand that I may not get optimum service. And that's the issue, I do one person who commented said on DL Hughley show said that, well, if you don't want to take any customers, you should change your closing time, which is a valid point. Some restaurants do say, hey, even though we close at, let's just say, 10 p.m., we take our last guest at 9:30. So if your order's not in by 9:30, we can't feed you. So they'll say the kitchen is closed, right? So the kitchen may be closed, but you still may be able to order drinks or still sit if you've already ordered and enjoy your meal. And I feel like that's a good compromise. However, I feel like that should be posted somewhere. That's the part that a lot of people don't do. You walk into an establishment and they'll be like, "Up, kitchen's closed," or "Kitchen's closing in 5 minutes." Like, oh, but online it says you guys close at 10. On the door it says you close at 10. It's 9:30, right? So I do feel that if that is the approach, if the kitchen is going to close prior to the dining room, prior to the bar, um, it should be posted and well advertised that that's the situation. Just to be fair. Just to be fair. All right. And then, we should always, always, always tip accordingly. That's the part people don't like to talk about as well. If you're coming in sliding in at the last possible moment, tipping anything less than 20% is out of pocket. Anything less than 20, I mean, because again, okay, 18 at least, 18% at least. I just, there's extra energy and effort. And I do believe that service staff should be paid for that extra energy and effort. So if you don't have the money to tip, then maybe go home and cook. Maybe go to the grocery store instead of going out. So somebody had to say it. I got y'all back too. Got y'all back. My servers, my back of the house crew. I got y'all. So that's my 2 cents on it. No, I do not feel it is rude. Maybe in poor taste, maybe frowned upon. But from the side of my folks who are doing the serving, the cooking, the offering of the experience, give that person the same level of service. And you never know who's going to take care of you, right? Because if somebody comes through and they know, like, oh man, gosh, I know I'm barely, making the cut. I know it's late. I'm so sorry. Hopefully, just go in with the expectation that they're going to tip accordingly and help you out, and take care of you. Take care of you. Don't assume the worst. Go in with a half full mentality, because what you project out, the service that you give, more often than not, is what you're going to get back. All right. So that's my 2 cents. I'm sticking to it. Ooh, that might be my tagline going out. Does anybody say that? That's my 2 cents. I'm sticking to it. Thank you for watching the Hospitality Hacks Pro Show. We'll see you next week. Lego.